Hello, AHA Twin Cities Safety HeartCert instructors. This video will give you an overview of our training center homepage, the AHA Atlas site, and our database site at the MyTA system and ordering e-cards. So we're going to first start off on the heartcertcpr.com/AHATC homepage. So this is important. You need to know this homepage as an instructor and be familiar with it. As an instructor, you're required to do homework to make sure that you understand these sites, be familiar with them because they're always changing, especially the AHA Atlas site. So the ordering site, onboarding site, placing your e-card orders, and all the documentations you will need as an instructor can be found on our homepage here. So again, you place e-cards here. If you need to order an e-card as an instructor because you don't belong to a training site, you still have to do that here before you actually will be able to have your paperwork completed. But this is, again, you should have been here and onboarded before as an instructor. If you're new to us but have an instructor card already, you want to make sure you drop that in here. You want to put as much information here as possible as a new instructor or an instructor who's coming to our training center, like when your class is, who taught your class, or when your upcoming class may be. Down here, you're going to see all kinds of other information, how to get to certain places, how to enter courses and manage rosters in our MyTA system. You're going to know how to, where your application is as an instructor, the 3-page renewal application as an instructor. So if you're renewing as an instructor, you only have to turn in the 3-page renewal application. If you're not new, I'm sorry, if you're not a renewal, then you have to return to me the instructor application, the skill sheets, and the course monitoring form. All can be found right here on our homepage. So the skill sheets are down below here for each discipline. And again, the monitoring form is here and the instructor application is right here. So everything is right here on our homepage. A lot of good information is right here. If you need to go to the AHA Atlas site, this is all about you as an instructor, and you should be familiar with this site. So as a new instructor, you've onboarded here. You may have not got into here yet, but once you get your instructor card, you will see all this information that I see, at least at the top of here. So you'll see dashboard, classes, training center, training resources, help, and support. Dashboard was where all your personal information is. You'll see your alignments, what disciplines you have. Classes, this is where you can create a class in Atlas. There is multiple steps to that if you're going to create a class in the Atlas. So you have to be familiar with how to do that, and I'm going to create a video on how to do that. The AHA does have information on where to go to get that information. I'm sorry, how to disseminate that information on if you want to create a class in Atlas. Training center is an important area because you're going to find the training center information, your alignments, your e-cards, and how to disseminate those. You're not going to see exams. Anybody who wants an exam as an instructor has to email me at rick@heartcertcpr.com. So rick@heartcertcpr.com. So that's important. Training resources, this is where you go to make sure that you know where to get all your information. So there's no excuse to not know what am I supposed to teach for this kind of course. How do I find out what's going on a monthly basis with the AHA? All your tools and resources are right here at your fingertips. So if you just take a little time, go through this. So news and updates, you're going to find past ECC beats. The ECC beat comes out once a month. The AHA puts those out. Sometimes there's a lot of good information. Sometimes there's not a whole lot of information on them, but you should be up to date on those. It's your responsibility as an instructor. Course information, let's say I'm teaching a class on BLS and I want to know how many people can I teach? What am I supposed to have for class? So you click into there. All your disciplines are right there, and all this information, again, is at your fingertips. Your BLS instructor update, if you haven't done that's there. The BLS product and course information is there. Shop CPR, where you can order products. But again, teaching class, all the information, what kind of equipment should I have? What's the science behind what I'm teaching? The checklist that I need is all right here and downloadable. As you scroll down even further, they have questions that you may have as a BLS provider, all right here. Continuing education information is right here. We get a lot of questions on that. So again, a little homework you want and you need information. It's all right here on the AHA instructor site. Again, per discipline. So if I went to there, now I can also go from training resources to the PAM. So the PAM is the Bible for the AHA. It's everything you need to know as an instructor, policies to the AHA, what it takes to become a training site, uh, what are the courses, what do I need to know as an instructor, what do I need to keep as an instructor, what are the policies of the AHA. They also have references and resources here. All good information right at your fingertips under training resources. So all super good area, a good area to come to for your resources as an instructor. Help and support. So they have general site help, a lot of good information underneath that, how to claim an e-card so you can pass this out to your class. And so if they get confused how to claim an e-card, has it right here, a document, and how to contact the AHA. So they have the phone number, email address right there. So again, navigating the site, not very difficult. It just takes some time on your end to go through it. How do if you're a new instructor, how do I accept my alignments? So you're going to see a bell here. As you can see, I have a lot of notifications, but the fact is you may only have a couple in here. I send you a request and you have to accept that. How do I accept that? You just go into my alignments and you're going to see the requests right here to accept those alignments. So you click on your name, my alignments, accept those alignments. You should get a letter from me after you've turned in all your paperwork if you're a new instructor or a renewing instructor, and you have to make sure that you're aligned, everything is good to go. Under there, you also see your user profile. Make sure your AHA Atlas email remains the same. If you do change it, you have to let me know. That is how the AHA records and documents everyone. So if you change that and you create another email and you send it to me and we do it, let's say an instructor renewal, or you're for some reason you signed up with somebody before and it's been a while since you've been with the AHA or went into their site. The fact is we can create two AHA accounts. Now you're stuck calling the AHA and getting them to combine your accounts. So I just want to briefly talk about that. Otherwise, the AHA Atlas site, very important to know. How do I look up a card? You can just go to their home screen. Are you an instructor? Boom, click under that and you can find the e-card. If you're looking for training verification and somebody says, hey, this HR company is looking for verification on one of the people I've taught, they can just go into here, click into that, and they can set whether they're an employer. If they're an employer, they need the e-card code. So you'd have to give that to them. If they're a student, they have to know the first name, last name, and email address they used. If they have the e-card code, all the better. So all that information is right there on the front page of the AHA Atlas site. After you sign in, or even before you sign in, this information is available. So if you just scroll through this, again, the AHA Atlas site, as an instructor, become very familiar with it, a lot of your headaches and questions will be answered. Let's move into the MyTA system site. So the MyTA system site is, again, our database. There's not a whole lot to do here. We will send you again a letter once you come on board or you renew. We'll send you a thank you for renewing or thank you for coming on board, welcome letter. And then you'll say, make sure you change your password or update your password. You can do that. All the instructions are there to do that. If you forget your password, you can hit forgot password like you would anything else. Once all your name is in here, we have all kinds of things in that database. This is how we keep track of you. You can record your classes in here. And if you remember from our home page, all that information, how to do that is right here. But if they still find it too complicating, which is fine, once you go to renew, you can just fill out the 3-page instructor application form, document those 4 courses you're supposed to teach in the 2-year time frame on that second page of that 3-page form. And that suffices too. It always save your class rosters. As an instructor, you must save those class rosters for 3 years if we ever need to come audit you. You can also upload your rosters, which suffices as the number of classes you taught, right here on your also uh, under your database. So you can do it multiple ways, but like I said, you can also just use that 3-page application form. Anyway, this was just a brief overview for instructors on how to navigate our training center homepage, which is right here, heartcertcpr.com/AHATC/. Very important page. Again, this is where you order e-cards, you onboard, you find all kinds of good information. The AHA site, obviously the AHA runs their site. We can't change it, do anything with it. Make sure you navigate this, you are familiar with it. It's your obligation as an instructor to become familiar with it. And of course, our database site is the MyTA system database site, which is different from the ordering site, under the same system, but 2 different things. So thank you for watching. I hope to find this video information helpful. Any questions, you can always reach out to me at rick@heartcertcpr.com. That's rick@heartcertcpr.com. Thank you.